guys, it's Kylie, and in today's video I'm going to be explaining how to tell if a pin is a scrapper. So I'm going to go through all the different details and different things on pins that can help you determine whether the pin is real or whether it is a scrapper pin. Scrapper pins are very commonly found on lanyards, which is what has made trading in Disney World with cast members not as good as it used to be, just because so many scrapper pins have been made and are being spread all throughout the parks, because most people are not educated on how to tell if their pin's a scrapper. Usually scrapper pins, they can technically be traded because of Disney's rule. It's just that the pin has to say copyright Disney on the back of it, and they do, but they're not officially made by Disney. They're made by factories in China that then just sell them on eBay in big pin lots, and they become on the lanyards. Plenty of pins, all different types of pins, can be turned into scrapper pins. So the easiest way to tell, these are some of the ways to tell if a pin's scrapper. So the best way to know if a pin's not a scrapper is to buy it directly from Disney, or have people watch videos like this and just learn what pins you get, whether or not they're real or scrappers. So to start off, one of the main things that I'm just going to go through is different pins that I have in my collection that can have different elements that can show you whether or not they're real or a scrapper. The first one is this Star Wars pin. The easiest way to tell on this pin is there is literally divots right here. You can see kind of in the paint with the light, the divots right there in the pin. The enamel is just really like, it dips down in different sections, which you would never find on a Disney pin. So that is one of the one of the signs that your pin is a scrapper, because of this very soft enamel. This is also another pin that has that very soft enamel. This is a hidden Mickey pin. So there's a few things on here I'm actually going to show you. So one, it has the really soft enamel throughout the middle of this teacup. Also on the back of this, it has these really short, like, the little things, nubs next to the pin post are just very tiny. They're almost like nothing there. They're never going to be that short on a pin. This one, you can never tell with the enamel because it's one of the silver hidden Mickeys. But the big thing on sure sign on this is that hidden Mickey pins never have a border, and this one has an obvious border around the outside of the pin, so kind of up where my finger is. You can see that they have a border around the edges, so the Mickeys on the back don't go all the way off the edge. Another thing about this pin is it just feels really light and doesn't feel like very heavy, and it's pretty thin. So that can be a telltale sign that the pin is a scrapper. This next one is a good example of how bad quality some of these scrapper pins can be. First of all, this back has just like random lines throughout it. Not even that the pin backs come off, there's just like extra metal there. And then if you look at the sides of the pin, they're just very rough and aren't smooth at all, which you wouldn't find normally in a Disney pin made by Disney. This is another one that just really shows the back and how bad some of the scrapper pins can make the Mickeys not go off the back. They just stop in the middle of the pin almost. They just kind of stop going off and are not very clear. This pin right here, another scrapper pin. The big thing on this one that helps to show you that it's a scrapper, one that has the really small little nubs on this. I'm not sure if you can really tell, but they're very tiny next to the pin post, and also there's just like this extra piece of metal on the bottom, which you wouldn't find on an official Disney pin. This one right here, on the back and front, it looks pretty good, but the big thing that shows that it's a scrapper pin is how scratched, like, the paint's kind of like, you can tell. I'm going to try to get it to focus, but it's very like almost scratched up look to it. It looks like it was like brushed on with all these, there's like lots of streaks and stuff in the paint and in the enamel. So that's kind of the sign that this is a scrapper pin. This next one, it has the really, what's that called? Soft enamel, but it also has this pin Mickey head's not going off the back, but the only pins that it is a scrapper if the Mickey heads don't go off the back is hidden Mickeys. But the big thing on this one is, if I'm going to try to focus it very closely on this ear, but if you read this ear, up here it says copyright Disney, but instead of spelling out the word Disney, it actually has Disney with an L. So if I can get that to focus up on this ear, right here it actually spells Disney, D-L, like with a capital L-S-N-E-Y, which is not how you spell Disney. So that's sometimes how they can get away with making them, is they change the pin slightly and put spell Disney wrong or change the fonts and stuff. Also, sometimes pins not only can be open edition, but can be limited edition and be scrappers. This is a perfect example of a limited edition pin that's also a scrapper. If you tell here, it's got these really small little nubs next to the pin post, which you would never have on an official Disney pin. They have much larger nubs. I'm just going to give you an example of a pin to show you. So this is one of the pins. I bought this pin in the park, but you can see all these little things next to the pin post kind of go up almost to like the height of the little base of the pin post. That just shows you how small these ones are. These ones like barely touch the come up off the back of the pin. So even though this pin does say it's limited edition, it wasn't actually in the limited edition run of the 1,000 pins, which actually makes it more than 1,000 pins out there of that. So some of the signs that your pin is a scrapper is a really soft enamel. Some pins are made with a softer enamel, so you would have to check pin pics or some of that to see what the quality of the pin looks like, and some of the colorings. Sometimes the colorings are really off on the scrapper pins. So Mickey's face might look really orange. The small little nubs next to the pin post, if those are like tiny to nothing, that's usually a sign that your pin's a scrapper. For hidden Mickeys, if the Mickey print on the back doesn't go all the way off the edge, that's a sign that it's a scrapper. If the edges are really rough and there's random bumps in the middle of the edges, that's a sign. And then also if the words on the back aren't spelled correctly, so sometimes it just says China without an I or without an A. Like, just look to see if the words on the back are actually spelled right and actual real words, not just random words like Disney with an L instead of an I, because that doesn't actually make a word. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned some of the facts of whether or not your pins are a scrapper or not, and hope this was helpful to you. Don't forget I'm doing Vlogmas, and that starts in just a few days. Definitely hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell so that you are notified when I post a video throughout the month of December. I'm posting daily for Vlogmas. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye!